Now, I want to ask all of you, if a random phone number calls, do you all answer it? No. Most people here don't. Do you at home? Well, this next topic may have you sending it to voicemail. Why? There's a new scam going around. It's called the "Can you hear me now" scam. And to help us learn more about it is cybersecurity expert Ken Liao. And Ken, how does this work, this scam?
Yeah, so we've seen a massive influx of this starting from the beginning of the year, and it's a robocall. And when you pick up the phone, there's usually a recording of a fairly sophisticated voice now. So in the past, it was pretty easy to determine a robocall. Now there's background noise. It really sounds like a call center. And it's something along the lines of, "Hey, this is John. Can you hear me now?" And they're waiting for your response of yes. And they're secretly recording that response, which they then take out of context to show as a sign of acknowledgement of signing up for goods or services that you get billed for later on.
So they're stealing your voice.
They're stealing your voice.
They already know your phone number.
Yes.
Right.
And I know some financial institutions are now using voice recognition, so they could hijack your yes. "Do you want to transfer these funds to this new bank account?"
Right.
Yes.
Exactly.
That would be a potential concern. How in the world would you ever know?
If there's a phone number that you don't recognize, I think the recommendation is not to pick it up. If they really need to get a hold of you, they'll continue. Turn around, Google that number. Oftentimes you'll find other people have reported it, and you'll very quickly realize that a number of these have already been logged as fraudulent numbers. I then save them on my phone. Save them to an entry, specifically numbers that you block, and next time they call back, you know that it's not something you need to worry about.
I've noticed that there's a delay when they call. There's a delay before the person speaks, and then I know, and then I just hang up.
Yeah, and that's the perfect thing to do if you do pick up one of these phone calls and you realize it's potentially fraudulent, is to hang up.
There's a national do not call registry. Is that helpful at all?
It is certainly helpful, but these guys aren't certainly playing by those rules. Most of these are originated from overseas, and there's no extradition for these people who are.
How do you shut them down then? If we do get a weird phone call and we want to report it, how do you even go about reporting this? Who do you report it to?
Yeah, you can report it to the Better Business Bureau.
Okay.
So that's a good place to start.
I've got a couple of these calls saying they're the IRS.
Yeah.
And that we're going to sue you and you owe us money and all that. I mean, that's totally bogus. The IRS does not call you.
It's exactly right.
Ken, thank you for highlighting this. I want, really quickly, before you go, because cybersecurity is always evolving, are there any other scams out there that we need to be on the lookout for?
Yeah, well, a variation off of this "Can you hear me" scam is the tech support scam, and many of you may have seen this, where you're browsing the internet and suddenly a pop-up comes up and says, "Oh, we found a virus on your computer," and there's a handy little phone number on there to call to sell some software and install it, and really you're installing more viruses onto your computer. And then the even further step from there is a major problem right now called ransomware. And this is a concept where someone will email you an attachment where you open that attachment and encrypts everything on your computer, from your family photos to your financial files to your kids' homework. And there's a nice little screen on there that says everything is being held for ransom. And oftentimes there's even a little timer on there where the value of the ransom continues to go up over time to try to increase the likelihood you'll pay up sooner.